The holidays are fast approaching with the start of November, and we know how much easier shopping online can make this time for everyone. When making your purchases this year, make sure to shop through the Ninth Row Reviews Amazon page. With no additional cost to you, show your support for productions like the Unbranded podcast at ninethrowreviews.com.
You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
I love the squeal. Hey everybody, it's the Unbranded podcast. I'm Logan.
I'm Mike.
I'm Justin.
Today we're missing Jake. He had some other commitments and wasn't able to make it out this week. We're sorry that he is not here.
Who's Jake?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
The guy that sits between you guys on the couch now?
Oh,
Guy who's
that
tall-
guy.
Yeah, him.
The tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like the hair and stuff. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, talked about music. Oh, never mind.
Right.
Anyway, you know, when you're not here, we get to make fun of you. So that's just
right.
how it goes.
Jake.
That's right. That's just how it goes.
When you don't show up at the
podcast, Jake.
Oh no, Bane's here again.
Yeah, Bane's back.
Bane won't leave.
Today is November 5th. We're recording a special podcast. We're going to release a little bit early. We're going to release it tomorrow instead of normally on Wednesday. It's November 6th, Tuesday, second Tuesday of November. It's a really special day in American history, something that I think a lot of people are going to remember from years and years to come. And thank heavens, Halo 4 is coming out tomorrow.
Yes, it's finally coming out.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited.
I think there's something else going on.
Was
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, hold
What
on.
is it?
Are we picking a person to run our country tomorrow? Is that what it
Something
is?
like that.
Right, like we're all choosing somebody to be the leader of our free country.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I just felt like I needed to share that with our audience.
Yeah, seriously. So, yes, tomorrow is Election Day. It is also the day that Halo 4 is going to be released. I don't know if they really meant to do that on purpose when they chose the date. Probably.
It's a weird coincidence.
It is kind of a weird coincidence. I don't remember another video game ever coming out on Election Day. But this is going to be huge, and we don't really have any intention of getting political on this podcast.
No.
We don't care about your political affiliation. But
Go
we do
vote. Go vote for sure.
Yeah, that's what we want to do is just say, look, get out there and vote. Do your duty as an American citizen. Take advantage of something that a lot of people have sacrificed a lot, including their lives, to allow you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it go to waste. And one mention that I would have on it is we are a small business. Ninth Row Reviews and the Unbranded podcast, we work hard to try and provide content and make a living for ourselves. We want to be able to make this successful.
The American dream.
And really, it doesn't matter what your political orientation is.
No.
When going to the polls, I would ask that you just do this. Right now, we're in really economic hardships. Sandy, the hurricane, did not make that any better. And when you go to vote, just keep in mind, vote for the person that you think is going to do the best for our economy. Like, that's really the big issue right now, in my opinion. I don't care who you vote for, but make sure that when you do vote for the guy that you think is going to make the biggest effect and hopefully the biggest fix to the poor economy that we're in, because we're struggling.
It's kind of a toss-up right now, though, in my opinion. I really don't know which.
It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
I
It
find
really
it weird
is.
that it's come down this close.
Yeah, it's kind of strange
Yeah.
because usually there's a front runner always. I mean, at least in
To an
all the
extent,
elections that I've seen and growing up. But yeah, this time I really just have no idea.
Well, this election is so multifaceted, and we're in such a difficult time in American history. A lot of people try and draw direct correlations to the Great Depression, and you can in some ways, but you really shouldn't in others. This is hard, and we need to be making sure that who we're voting for is really who we believe is right.
Well, and that the opinion of the people is being heard. That's why everybody should go out and vote.
Yeah. So please do that. Help us and join with everybody else in the nation in moving a step forward and hopefully seeing some brighter tomorrows, especially for small businesses and groups like us trying to, make our way up there.
And read those propositions. Make sure you read up on them.
Please read them. I'm not going to say that if you don't know what they are, don't vote on them. I don't believe in discouraging people from voting. I do believe in encouraging people to be educated on what those propositions are, because they make a difference. They make a very serious difference in what our rights are going to be in the future. So moving on to other fun stuff, though.
No more politics.
No more. We're done.
Yeah.
I swear to God, though.
Politics equal poop.
We live in a state capital, Sacramento, California.
Oh my goodness!
It's felt like this political campaign cycle has gone on for 7-8 months.
It's
now.
so annoying.
I'm ready for the poll, or not for the polls, but the ads and all that stuff to just be done with. And I don't even watch television, and I see so much.
And the commercials they just get worse and worse as time goes on.
Yeah, they do.
Dan Lundgren and Ken Cooley both can't stop calling me. Yeah. They both want my attention.
Hello, I'm Dan Lundgren, and I would like to ask for your vote this November.
This person has a wart. This person has gonorrhea-syphilitis.
It's getting really
This person
bad.
doesn't have a hand because it was chopped off by an illegal immigrant.
There's one about voting for genetics. Branding food products with genetic labels. And I'm like, I can't care. I'm sorry.
I don't know. But be educated. But that's enough politics for us forever. And I don't think we're going to get into this for another 4 years.
No.
I'm voting for Nader.
Just like the Olympics. Every 4 years we care.
Yeah.
So back to the fun stuff about tomorrow, though. Halo 4 is coming out. I was lucky enough to be able to find a limited edition pre-order after most of them had been sold out. You can't get a limited edition pickup order from GameStop or Best Buy or any of them. I was able to get it through Fry's, and I think they still have a couple left even today, day before release, which I think they're one of the last. I know Amazon was sold out and has been sold out for a long time.
Yeah, I got my reviewer's copy, but I'm going to go pick it up at Walmart tonight.
Yeah, to be fair though, you can buy it on GameStop.com, but they ship it tomorrow. You will not get it tomorrow.
Now, is that the limited edition?
That is the limited edition. Okay. Everywhere is stocked up to the roof with the regular edition.
What's the difference between the two?
The limited edition is going to give you immediate access to all of the different armor types that the game provides. It's also going to give you, of course, the cool little booklets and the extra digital content, the making of, and I looked through a lot of it. And unlike other games where it's just like, the crap that you throw on the shelf with the rest of the game and you never really look at, I want to watch this stuff. It looks way stinking cool. And this last weekend, I took a trip up to Vancouver, Washington, drove there and back with my wife for some family stuff, and I listened to Halo Glasslands on audiobooks. I've started to really get into audiobooks through Audible. By the way, they are a sponsor of the show. We do have a link on our site to purchase books from them through us.
So go buy books.
Go buy audiobooks. But I listened to Glasslands, and I am really impressed with how well the books and also the Forward Unto Dawn video series that.
Wow, yeah, I watched the Forward Unto Dawn, and that was fantastic.
It was so well done, and it ties really, really. I feel after reading the book so much more educated on what's about to happen in the game.
Yeah.
than I feel like going out of 3 I would have been.
Well, I was totally misinformed before because when I read it initially, I thought the game was a prequel to Halo.
Right.
And then after actually playing through the game and being able to do the review, it takes place after Halo 3.
Right.
And I think that's that's cool, but because it's basically the start of another trilogy.
I thought that was interesting that they're going to start another trilogy with so many games behind them now, but with branching off into 343, it's kind of like the sky's the limit for these guys, and they have a lot to prove. One of the things that I kind of have a beef with is how much crap I've heard 343 take about being different from Bungie. Are they going to be as good? Are they going to be able to provide the real knockout game that
they are?
Halo
Bungie. That's the thing.
It is.
It's like 50 or 60% of their workforce is Bungie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous stuff. I think it's just the regular trolls out there on the internet just trying to cause problems and rumors. And
I can
stuff.
tell you, after playing the game, it is hands down one of the better Halo games. I actually liked it a lot.
And even with the amount of stuff that they're changing, it's still an amazing looking game.
Yeah.
Like some of the changes that they made with Forge, which is one of my favorite elements of the game. It looks awesome. The magnet settings that they added, allowing you to snap together objects. Oh my goodness, that's going to save so much time in making custom maps and stuff. and how they changed the lighting effects within Forge. That always bugged me, how it looked weird because the lighting wasn't the same with new Forge objects, and
Because
now
they
it's
were
dynamic.
pre-developed. They were pre-developed.
Should we just
Right.
go into the Halo review right now? I mean,
just-
we're already talking about it.
Yeah, let's just get into it because this is going to be big. We're actually going to be producing. We're getting all of our copies of the game tomorrow, and now that we have the capability to record our gameplay, we're going to throw up lots of gameplay stuff from both the campaign, multiplayer, all sorts of good stuff tomorrow. Well, actually, we're going to be recording it tomorrow. It'll probably come out Wednesday. Which is not too bad, day after the day of release. So, but anyway, yeah, let's get into kind of what your thoughts were, Justin, because you've played through the whole game, right?
Yeah,
You
the
played
whole
start
campaign.
to finish. Okay.
Yeah.
What were your immediate thoughts getting into the game as far as the look and feel?
Anybody that played Halo is going to pick it up and like it immediately. There are some key elements that have changed in the game, mainly in the multiplayer side, actually, of most of the things that have
Right,
changed.
yeah, I heard that.
Mainly multiplayer is what's been adjusted. But the single player, the story is fantastic, like all the other Halo games. It's a great story. The new enemies, they're really cool, but they feel it's kind of a been there, done that kind of feeling. Like
It didn't seem like they really introduced anything new except, it's Elite and all the Covenant guys with new skins on them and slightly
really?
different abilities.
Yeah, well, you'll get into all the enemies when you play the game tomorrow. But overall, the game was good. The engine looks fantastic. They really did a lot with the lighting and the way the engine looks now. It looks a lot better. It's a lot cleaner.
What game would you say that it looks the most like? Does it look more like Halo 3 or like Halo Reach?
I would say more like it's like a mix between the two,
Really?
but it's a sharper version. Like I don't know, it's
So
hard to
not
explain.
as quite the claymation feel that
Yeah,
Halo
it's
Reach
more
had?
realistic. It's
Okay.
more realistic looking.
I heard that was a big complaint, and I kind of felt the same way about Halo Reach. How it did have this slightly
cartoony feel.
Yeah, I didn't know whether to call it like
Yeah.
claymation because it was really good 3D animation, or at least perspective animation, not true 3D. But it just felt weird. It didn't look like the same feel that Halo 3 had, and that wasn't a bad thing at the time. I was just curious if that was going to change as well.
Well, you
Yeah.
got these people running around in Spartan armor. That was the problem with Reach is they're trying to make it look realistic, but they're running around with these uniforms that are sci-fi. It creates very it felt
true.
weird to me.
343 cuts through all that, and they go straight down to the nitty gritty of Halo. I mean, Forward Unto Dawn is a great example of
Yeah.
what it's like.
Trying to be more mature.
It's really they really took a different turn with it, and it's not so much different that it's going to piss off people that are Halo fanatics.
Right.
It might frustrate a couple of people, and I know the multiplayer changes, which we're going to talk about here shortly, are going to upset quite a few people.
Right.
I think they're great ideas. Some of the other ideas that 343 had, I don't think were great ideas, but hey,
Give and take.
they have to change the formula in order for their game to stand out. They can't use the same formula as Bungie, otherwise it's
Right.
it's
taking a good opportunity to take a loved and well-known franchise and really go out with it and go and reach for the stars, prove themselves as a brand new company, and show that they can keep to the original, keep a good franchise strong, but at the same time be something different, be new, be innovative, and not just an offshoot of Bungie.
I've heard that the art director was the same art director for the Metroid Prime game.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I don't know.
I
those
believe
people very well. Do you have any idea, Justin?
no, I don't. I was actually going to look it up right now.
Like how
Okay.
does the game look? Does it feel more like a Metroid game, or is it still like rounded pretty well in Halo?
Well, from everything I've seen, it's still
Still very much Halo, yeah.
because the
Yeah.
Prometheans just kind of they're not a turnoff, but it feels like a departure for the series.
Well, I thought it was an interesting thing to bring the Forerunners back in such a heavy way because up until this point, the Forerunners have been very mysterious, very unseen. The only stuff that you really know about them is the structures that they created, like the Halo. This is the first time that you actually get to see Forerunner Construct.
yeah,
which is pretty cool.
That's very cool.
After so many games, finally being able to get into that part of the story, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
really like that. And it doesn't really matter that much to me that they are kind of filling the same roles enemy-wise of what you're fighting as with the Covenant. They kind of have to. If they changed up everything, it wouldn't feel like Halo, even if it looked like Halo.
Well, I wish they would have gone all the way because we're still fighting the Covenant. Like in all the trailers I've seen, I still see
True.
grunts and I see elites, and yet in the story, they've been defeated. We've actually had a truce with them for years.
Well, sort of. I mean, as the books go, yes, they have this ceasefire, but they got this issue of a civil war within the Covenant as well.
And then people who break off from the actual...
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, Justin, I don't. think we want to give away too much of what happened story-wise, but did the Covenant play a huge role in Halo 4, or did you spend more of your time with the Forerunner construct stuff?
Well, no, it's kind of equal parts. A lot of what you do is with the Covenant, but then a lot of what you do is with the new enemies, the Prometheans,
right?
And they're the new enemy. They're the new bad guys. So it's kind of split. It's kind of like when they had the Horde and the Covenant in the same game for Halo 3 and Halo 2. It's kind of like that. It's split up equally. They really give the Covenant an equal opportunity to kind of.
That's way cool.
Kick Master Chief's ass.
Well, finally the Flood are gone. I'm sick and tired of them.
Yeah, I hate the Flood.
Yeah, the Flood was just
they were a good
really
reveal for one
annoying.
game.
Yeah.
In Halo 1, they were a good mystery kind of horror thing that happened halfway through the game, and they were a big surprise.
Well, the Flood's not totally gone, and that kind of gets into the multiplayer changes.
I did see those, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was actually kind of cool because it plays off of the zombie mode that Halo Reach was really well known for in the multiplayer. Everybody loves zombie mode.
Yeah.
But now they've taken it a step farther with that customization, the ability to be this Flood. Like, what would you describe it? I can't think of how I've seen the videos of it. It's the infected Master Chief, right? It's an infected Spartan.
It's an infected Spartan.
And basically, you've got this. It kind of reminded me of. I can't think of the name of the game now. Prototype. It kind of reminded me of the Prototype arm with the sword and everything. So how does that work out multiplayer wise? Let's get into the changes that they made with multiplayer.
Well, the biggest complaint I have first with the multiplayer is the lack of firefight. They got rid of firefight. That no longer exists.
They butchered it.
I didn't
Reach
hear
though.
that.
Firefight was really weak.
Halo Reach was killed firefight, but now they replaced it with what's called Spartan Ops.
Right. Yeah.
And Spartan Ops is basically a set of missions. It's just they have a storyline. There's cinematics, the whole 9 yards.
And it does play into the main story as well.
Yeah, it plays into the main story. And supposedly, 343 will be updating the Spartan Ops as it goes along with new missions and different objectives and things like that.
No, I haven't heard this. I heard a rumor that they were going to be possibly charging for the Spartan Ops as DLC.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I'm going to be really disappointed if that's the case, though.
I just won't buy it.
And I don't know. I know the limited edition comes with a lot of this stuff, but I would be really disappointed if they make you pay for the Spartan packs. I'm getting tired of paying for map packs.
Yeah,
we talked about this before with the DLC.
Yeah, that's why if I buy a game and I know I'm going to want all the DLC for it, I buy the season pass immediately.
Right.
Because it's usually only $30 and it guarantees you at least 4 map packs.
But still, you're talking $100 for the game.
But yeah, I mean, how much are you spending on the Legendary Edition?
$100.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I'm getting a lot for my money's worth.
But where you're getting your extra, the digital art, and the the videos, and the armor upgrades and all that, I'm spending my extra money on all the map packs that are going to come out thereafter.
And I did pay for the limited edition of Halo 3 when I actually bought the limited edition later after it came out. I saw a copy at GameStop.
With the unofficial helmet that you can stick on your cat?
No. I've never tried to stick it on my cat. No, I actually didn't get that one. It was actually just the tin one. It didn't have the helmet or anything like that, but it was pretty cool.
I will still say Halo 2's bonus content is the best bonus content I've ever seen for any game.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was the whole duffel bag, right?
It was a duffel bag, and just the second CD had so many great things on it that I remember watching the DVD more than I played Halo 2.
Yeah. All I can say is I'm way excited for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of great videos coming up really quick with that.
Or it's going to bomb,
No,
some other multiplayer changes real quick.
Right.
The other thing that they're going to do away with is the static guns and maps.
Oh, yeah.
So gun drops are random now. That's going to be random at the beginning of each map.
Well, and that plays into a lot of what they were trying to do with the armor sets, or what they're calling loadouts in the game.
Yeah.
And that was I think that was really well played out. If they had kept the game how it was, where there were static weapons and specific weapons on the map, it would have made loadouts unnecessary in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's still good that you have variation in weapons that you can choose from on the map, but with the ability to set up loadouts, and Justin, can you explain exactly how that works and how much you're able to customize with loadouts?
Yeah, you're able. First of all, you're obviously able to customize the way your guy looks with the armor upgrades and abilities. Right. There's a lot of changes to the perks. So, like, they have a tactical ability, which is like fast reload, faster running, higher jump, that kind of stuff.
It kind of took on a Battlefield touch for me.
Or Call of Duty.
Or Call of Duty, yeah.
The weapons that you start with, you get a first and a secondary.
Right.
And the weapons you start with are they're medium guns. They're medium power kill guns. So
right.
all the heavy weapons are still out on the map. You can't start with those.
So not even later on in the game, you can't earn yourself a heavy weapon to start with?
No.
That drove me nuts.
No. And if you can, I haven't gotten to that point yet because there's like 1,000 people playing online on multiplayer and I didn't want to get banned.
Well, no, I really like that, though, just because it keeps people from just walking in with a rocket launcher and something else. And just because that's how... It always bothers me where you can either pay to gain an advantage or you buy...
Pay to win.
Yeah, it's pay-to-win stuff, and it's just really annoying.
Call of Duty has gotten really into doing that.
They have.
That's the thing, though, with the new Halo is... The weapons randomly drop, and you don't have to wait for somebody to finish killing or finish using the weapon for it to re-drop. So the entire team could have Spartan lasers if they all picked them up at this. They all picked them up.
Oh, that's way cool.
So there is no more wait for the rocket launcher to respawn.
No, you don't have to wait for it to respawn. You don't have to wait for the guy to drop it.
So
or
is
whatever.
it kind of like just in a rack of lasers and everybody can run up and grab one?
It's random drops. Every map,
wow.
it's random drops, and then it actually shows up on your screen. You see
and
all
tells
the
you what's
guns.
there.
So you get everybody sprinting towards the weapons.
And then when the gun is taken, it disappears from your screen. So that way you know, hey, that gun's gone. I'm not going to go fight for a gun that doesn't exist there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was a big thing that they did.
And with the loadouts and the extra abilities and such, and the customization to how you look, are they trying to do this the same way with Halo Reach, where you built up points or credits from playing through multiplayer and such to purchase these upgrades, or is this just going to be...
That's exactly right.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
So,
I was actually hoping that they were going to change that and link that more to specific objective-oriented achievements, where you get so many headshots and you unlock X, Y, and Z customizations for your armor.
Yeah,
I was getting tired of sitting there feeling like the people that had all the customizations were kids grinding through multiplayer.
Yeah, they're trying to get away from that, and so some of the changes they've made to the multiplayer have combated that.
Because I consider myself especially with Halo, to be a serious gamer, but I don't invest that amount of time into the multiplayer. First off, I hate paying for live.
Really?
And that we can get into that another day. Yeah, I don't think that we should be paying for live anymore, but that's besides the point. I don't purchase a monthly subscription right now. I will, as of tomorrow, reopen my subscription because I've got a bunch of free trials.
You get a free pass with the Halo game.
Yeah.
I see that all the time.
So I'm going to have that. I'm going to run it until it's done. I've got some other free passes I'm going to use as well, but I am very much against paying for online.
Yeah, and just to touch on that real quick, I look at the PlayStation Network, and it's free.
Right.
And it's
crap.
And it's crap. It's down all the. They've been down probably
and they've been
6 times this year.
So many times.
But Microsoft is consistently running.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, they've been down maybe once or twice.
And they do a lot. If you listen to the Major Nelson podcast,
they do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you listen to guys like Steptoe and E. It's Steptoe that's the one on their enforcement group, right?
Oh, I'm not really sure. I listened to Major Nelson though, for sure.
One of the guys on their show, he is, I think, he's either the head or one of the leaders of that department. It's true. Like you're getting a lot for your money.
It's just like paying for an MMO subscription. You're paying for content updates, basically.
Yeah,
I just
have a hard time with it. It hurts me to sit there. I mean, I already pay for so many other subscriptions, but and for the longest time, I always was said, I'm going to switch to the online service providers instead of paying for cable. But at the end of the day, I'm paying for Netflix, I'm paying for Hulu Plus, I'm paying for Xbox Live, and it really kind of just adds up. It's almost like I'm paying for Comcast cable, but I am getting a lot of different services, which is cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, though, I don't want to take this on too strong of a tangent away from Halo. We can talk about Halo 4. We're going to be talking about it for a while.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about it for at least
but
two or
there is
three
some
podcasts.
news with Netflix. Actually, a little bit disappointing because this comes up a lot of the war between DVD rental Blockbuster versus
streaming,
Netflix. Streaming and that sort of stuff. And unfortunately, it sounds like Netflix is in some pretty bad trouble right now. Over the last couple of months, they have lost pretty much 75% of their net worth.
Yeah, their total.
Which is...
I wasn't even aware of that.
I wasn't really until I started reading into this. I saw the articles today. That's pretty intense to lose that much money at one time. And so they're at risk of getting bought out by some of their more majority investor members, and that's not a good idea. Right now, Netflix looks like they're trying to create what's kind of a business suicide pill. As a way of discouraging investors from purchasing the really cheap stocks at Netflix and then taking control of the company, even though the current CEO is not doing very well at all, and they do need new leadership, there's some really serious concerns about other people who would potentially purchase the company, especially this guy, Mr. Akan. I don't remember his first name. I think it's John, but Carl Akan. He's one of the major investors. I think he owns about 10% of the current stock in Netflix right now.
That's actually how they do it. They buy into the company for 10 or 20%,
Right.
and then they end up trying to not only buy out public shares, but they also try to buy out the employee shares.
Yeah.
So they find some employee that doesn't mind, selling their shares a little bit over what they're
Well, he gives them
worth.
monetary compensation, says, "Hey, can I get your majority of your stock?"
You get your, you sell them your stock, and he gives you more
Right.
money than they're actually worth at the time.
Right. And basically what it's called, this plan that they have, is a shareholder rights plan. It's also known as a poison pill, and it's a way of keeping the corporation and the it's used to keep the board of directors from taking over a corporation.
It's called a hostile takeover.
It's a hostile takeover, but it's a way of keeping investors from taking over the corporate and board of directors.
Welcome to Business Managers.
It's a way for
117. Please take a seat.
Yeah, it's a way
But-
for people who aren't involved in the business to take over.
Right. It's bad news for Netflix. I mean, the fact that they lost that much total in net worth is really bad, but if they're under the threat of a hostile takeover like that, who knows? Netflix could be short-lived.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking about this before the show a little bit, and I agree with the comment. I think, Mike, you were the one that said that they should sell off the DVD, or no?
No, they've tried to do that before. You remember? I think it was last year they got into a bit of hot water because they tried to sell their DVD mail system and go
Right.
to complete streaming.
Right.
And everybody freaked out and said they were going to sell their shares in the company,
Right.
Unsubscribe to them, because I still use the mail too. I believe there's still a place for that model. It's going away. Streaming is going to take its
Right.
place, but streaming still has some stuff that it needs to work out.
No, I agree, but I think that the streaming is still a better model than the DVD, the mail DVD order. It just doesn't
We're
work.
in a Redbox revolution when it
Yeah.
comes to hard copies now.
Right.
You can walk into any grocery store and
Yep.
rent a movie for $1.50.
Right down the corner from my house, there's a Redbox at the 7-Eleven. I
Yeah.
use it probably once every 2 weeks, if not more.
And then you can drop it off at any Redbox.
Yeah.
So if you rent a movie here in California and you
it's
take
huge.
it over to Florida, you can drop it off there if you want to.
And they're like, well, but you could pay $10 a month and you could have unlimited DVDs theoretically. Well, that's not exactly true.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you got to turn them back in. You got to wait for them to come in the
Right.
mail. If they don't have the movie you want, then you're waiting for that.
And Redbox, I'm kudos to them, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Single clap. That's
single
for you,
clap.
Redbox.
That's for you, Redbox. We love you. They're quick, and both on the games and on the videos of getting, as soon as the DVD releases, everything into their boxes.
That's right. They do games now, don't they?
They do, and they get.
They're a little pricey, though.
Dishonored is already out on Redbox, and it was out very, very quickly after the game released. So
I don't know
was
how
really
you would do a
surprised.
game, though, because I pay the unlimited plan at Blockbuster so I can
Right.
keep the game as long as I want. But with Redbox, because you're paying by the day, it's not like a movie. It's not like you watch it for 2 hours and return it.
I'm probably mistaken, but I heard that they have a tiered structure, so that if you're renting for extended periods of time, it actually cuts down, and it's very comparable to.
We'll look
what
on we'll
Blockbuster
check it
does.
out on the break.
Yeah, we'll check
Yeah.
that out at some point. But yeah, Redbox is a huge threat for Netflix, and so at this point, with Hulu having the troubles that it's had,
Hulu's never been able
Hulu's
to figure out-
garbage.
Hulu
They've
Plus,
never figured out their market.
shame on you for the number of commercials that you have to sit through on Hulu Plus. I'm about to cancel my subscription.
And there doesn't even seem to be that much content to
No.
justify the
They
price.
only give you
well,
clips in some
they
episodes.
still get premiere shows the day after release, but
I
the
want to
one-
watch Bob Burgers.
If I'm paying a subscription, hey, Bob's Burgers isn't that bad.
It's all right.
I want to watch Glee.
No.
You can only watch clips of Glee when they're singing.
But the issue is, if I'm paying for a subscription to Hulu Plus, I don't want commercials. I would rather wait for it to come out on Netflix. My wife and I are having more fun waiting for a series to come out on Netflix and watching it commercial free.
Well, that's what the new season of Arrested Development's doing. They're completely going past cable network channels, and they're going to release the entire season onto Netflix at one time.
Which makes perfect sense.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, cutting everything out, cutting out the commercials, and just going straight to the there's a lot of Hulu Plus stuff now, and this is a little bit of a kudos to them. where it's Hulu Plus only. It was produced for Hulu for online streaming. A lot of it is UK content.
And a bunch of hack comedians that think they're funny.
Yeah, but
Good
some
day, mate.
a lot of Louis C.K. who's good, but
Louis C.K. is
The one
funny.
not
did you?
hack.
He was on SNL this last week.
I heard it was a good show.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how you could do Louis C.K. on
No,
on an
his-
edited show
I'm
because
sorry.
his mouth is unfiltered.
Yeah, but the open and it wasn't even that I found to be the issue. His opening monologue I'm a big Louis C.K. fan, but it sucked. He
Was it
went
just
on-
censored?
Well, see, no, it wasn't that it was censored. The audience wasn't responding well to him. He was drowning within the first 5 minutes of the show, in my opinion.
That's disappointing.
And it a lot of it had to do with the content, that the jokes that he was trying to do weren't really that funny.
Yeah, see, it was SNL that writes the content, so
Yeah,
the
he
writers
tried to do this thing about a grandma slipping and falling, and that was like 5 minutes into the monologue, and by that point I was kind of like chuckling, but he had lost me. And so I was kind of like, well, this is too bad. You know,
When was the last time
Louis
anybody
C.K.'s
laughed at a SNL sketch? in
Well,
the
there's
last
some of the
10
stuff that's
years?
pretty funny.
Supposedly, they're not supposed to be too bad now. I mean, I guess the new SNL cast is supposed to be pretty good.
Well, I think that Seth MacFarlane being on the show is actually doing them a lot of good.
I don't know how you could do with Keenan or whatever the hell
Oh
his
no!
name
What
is.
is this? Keenan and Kel 2.0?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Freaking
Can I
hate
take
that.
your
Well,
order?
since Kel's been dead for the
Anyway,
last 5 years.
But
has he?
No, he's dead to me.
Oh,
but going back,
I thought he
to,
actually died. I felt like a jackass for a split second there.
He's actually on YouTube. He has a rap album about orange soda. He's trying to
He
prize
does.
himself off of that now.
Wow.
Yeah,
really
he's
sad.
tried to move on to YouTube to be productive.
Orange soda.
But back to Netflix. Yeah, so Netflix seems to be in some trouble. We're probably going to see more of that in the news in the next little bit here, because if they're into the dire straits, and they may not last much longer if they get bought out. And you know what? As long as it's not one of these guys like Carl Icahn or somebody like that who doesn't know. I mean, he notably in the article it says that he doesn't know how to run a company like Netflix. Let somebody who does in there. Let somebody who can make them.
Can we trust him?
I don't know.
My name is Carl McCann. I want to buy Netflix.
Nah, it just doesn't work. Sorry, Bane.
Bane wouldn't buy anything. He would just destroy it.
Yeah, he would blow it up
Yeah, so
and then poop on it.
we'll see what happens.
Get your character straight, man. Come on.
Yeah.
My bad. Anyway, moving on. We've actually taken up quite a bit of time, but we're a half hour in. That's
They don't
way
show
hard.
you when you die that the poop comes out of your butt.
Oh dear, gonna edit that one out.
Who loves orange soda?
Anyway, we're gonna take a break and we'll be right back after this.
This segment of the Unbranded podcast is brought to you by NinthRowReviews.com. New leaders in reviews for movies, video games, and technology. Check out their reviews at NinthRowReviews.com.
Banana,
Apple.
Cheese.
fruit.
Wine.
What?
I don't know.
We'll start again.
All right. I'm sorry. Association. I told you.
By the way,
guitar.
yes, we're playing association for our
Told you-
audience.
oh.
People just think we're saying random words right now.
That's kind of the fun of it. iPhone,
Phone.
Awesome.
cheap,
Loser.
Google.
fart,
Hate.
Samsung.
laptop.
Ceiling.
Phone. Where do you get laptop? How do you get ceiling from laptop?
Oh wait, hold on. How does association work? Are we just saying random words, or is it?
No.
just-
You think it's the first word that you think of,
And it has
when-
to match what you're saying.
It has to be relative to the word you're
I
talking
guess,
about.
but I mean, if
You can't
I
just.
say
I can't
soda
say shoe and then you go stairs,
Well, I don't know. I might associate. You know,
wall,
I love
sky.
I love lamp.
maybe. All right,
Is it-
final go?
Bane.
Bear.
Batman.
Pajamas.
Overalls.
Hick.
Both of you. Okay, moving on. Welcome back.
He lost.
Yeah,
You
I
lost.
lost.
You lost. You
We
just
all-
tried to get out of
we
it.
all lost
I'll
one.
play it off like you're just going to move on to the next segment. We're not even going to notice.
Sorry.
You got owned.
I did. Anyway, moving on to the next segment.
Actually, Jake got owned because he's not even here.
Shame on you.
He doesn't
Jake-
get to play in the game.
You don't get to play, and we're not going to play a game next week when you're actually here. Now,
Really?
we're just going to play games.
I kind of
when-
like that.
Or we'll play Jeopardy. The
We'll
worst.
play Jeopardy.
I think we should put Jeopardy next week.
and we'll do Jeopardy all about video games.
Oh, man.
Jake will be like,
He'll be so screwed.
Okay, so we want to talk a little bit about. We just got done talking about Netflix, but there was another purchase that happened this last week that is huge and very distressing for a lot of people.
Mind blowing, if you will.
Mind blowing.
It can be a little bit mind blowing. It makes sense in some ways. It was the purchase of LucasArts, the creators of the very, very popular Star Wars franchise, owned by George Lucas originally. They were purchased by Disney for $5.04 billion.
That doesn't surprise me. LucasArts is a big company.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because they bought. Not only did they buy the movie production side of things, but they also bought all their whole media. Everything
Right.
they do is they
Do you
purchased
think-
the whole company.
Did they
right?
get Skywalker Ranch too?
Yeah, that's. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure
Skywalker
George-
Ranch
I
is
thought
George
Luke-
Lucas's personal
George-
Yeah, I
property.
thought he lived there.
Yeah, that's his property. So no.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
they own the business aspect of Skywalker.
Yeah,
Ranch.
yeah.
So this is one of the largest. You can't really call it IP because this isn't a single IP, but it's one of the largest acquisitions of a company like LucasArts in a long time.
Well, that's so publicly well known.
Yeah.
And this is huge because one of the first things that Disney did when they released that the company was being purchased was announce that they were going to do Star Wars Episode 7.
I know. They buy it, and all of a sudden they're just like, "Hey, we're releasing Episode 7
We're
now."
immediately going to monetize this.
Yeah.
November 2015.
Lucas is he writing it?
No, his association with it at this point is a mentor kind of thing. He is not writing it, he's not directing, he's not producing. He is only going to be there to give guidance and counsel to the writers and directors.
Terrible.
And producers.
Story created by George Lucas. That's about it.
Well, see, the thing is, for a long time, Lucas said that there was never going to be another Star Wars movie that
Based on a
happened-
true story.
that happened that happened after Episode 6. But in the recent interviews, in talking about why he sold the company, he said that he wanted to pass on Star Wars specifically because that's what LucasArts is really known for. They have had some other major films like Red Tails, which was
Indiana
really, really
Jones.
good. Well, see, here's the thing: Indiana Jones, though, is owned partially by Steven Spielberg. So technically,
and Paramount.
Is it Paramount as well?
Paramount owns a bit of it too.
Okay, so technically, even though the LucasArts could not sell all the rights to those shows or to those movies at all, and so there's a lot of potential that Disney cannot use them unless they get some other deal going with Steven Spielberg to direct, of course.
Yeah, which is kind of odd considering there's Star Wars and Indiana Jones rides at Disneyland and Disney World.
But that was more like a conjunction venture between the two. Like, here, you can use our property to make this ride.
I mean, there was never going to be a Star Wars land. I mean,
Think about that though; they don't have to buy the likeness rights to any of that stuff
it's
anymore.
huge.
True.
And
It's
and not
huge.
only that, but they're going to be getting all that income.
Well, and one of the first things that I saw, especially on Facebook, was, "Oh no, here goes the death of Star Wars, and it's over." They're going to monetize every single thing.
Star Wars has been
LucasArts,
dead for
yeah,
years.
LucasArts already did that.
Yeah.
There's Lego
That's nothing
sets and toys and Cartoon Network shows. It's already been bled for almost everything it's worth. Now with this next Star Wars movie, of course, that could probably continue and be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I know I saw a lot of discussion on who the new Luke Skywalker would be. I didn't really think too much about it.
So they're going to continue on the Luke story.
They're going to continue on the Luke story because
Why?
supposedly they're going to try and keep it true to the series of books that followed afterwards because Luke restores the Jedi Order, and now they could either keep him on as a main character, but potentially a brand new trilogy all the way up through 9 movies.
I get going through the expanded universe, but there's so many stories you could explore
There are.
Exactly.
within the Star Wars universe itself.
It's true.
You could follow a bounty hunter. You could
Well,
follow
That's
Boba
what
Fett.
I was just going to say. I think the
Especially-
most untapped storyline in the Star Wars franchise has been bounty hunters.
Exactly.
It's true. I think that one potential would also be following Leia because she becomes a major player after Episode 6.
Yeah,
So
she's only the only problem with that is now she's a drug addicted
Her
60-year-old.
face is falling off.
yeah,
There was
that
actually
too.
there was a huge meeting where after this acquisition, George Lucas was seen with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher eating lunch somewhere, and they were
Right.
and people are saying they were discussing Episode 7.
I don't know. It could be. Well, there is a fact that later on in the series, including some of the books that I was recently reading, I know shame on me for reading a Star Wars book, but they're kind of funny.
Leia became a meth addict.
Well, yeah, that too. But they're older. It's like
Carrie Fisher.
it's like they're the late 40s, early 50s characters, and so I don't know. It depends on how far in the future they decide to take Episode 7. But I haven't seen any discussions on what it's actually going to be. Just that it's announced. It could go well. It could also go really, really bad. Just like Episode 2 and 3, Phantom of the Menace, and Phantom of the Menace was number 1, wasn't it?
Phantom of
That was episode
Phantom
1.
Menace
Phantom
was
of the
episode 1.
Horses. Yeah.
Episode 1.
Phantom Menace was
Yeah, the
not
horses.
that bad, but episode 2 and 3 were.
He's a hidden city.
Oh, please.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Technically, Jar Jar should have.
Misa want to shoot myself in the face after the first 5 minutes of dialogue.
Please don't bring the Gungans back, Disney. Please
Oppa
don't.
Gangnam Style.
Oh man, I was really tempted to talk about. There's an elephant that speaks Korean. in
Oh,
the
no,
London
don't,
Museum.
don't.
And it looked like Jar Jar.
Down on the zoo.
No, we don't need any career.
No Korean talk today.
Career.
Career.
But the
Korea.
To
getting back
career.
on topic a little bit, with Star Wars, the prequels have basically been ruining the series for like a generation now.
Yeah, a lot of people have felt that way.
And it's getting to the point where we need some adult content. We've all grown up with the series. We need to be able to say, hey, this is a movie for the fans who grew up with the series, not
Right.
this 10-year-old stuff that's dished out to people who are in elementary school.
Yeah.
If there's any way that they can maintain the feel that the first 3 episode 4, 5, and 6 movies had,
Yeah, definitely.
it could be a success. But given that it's Disney, I find it kind of hard to believe. I don't think that they're going to be able to do it, and my fear is this is going to be another John Carter.
Well, yeah, it could be. It could turn out terrible like that. But on the other end, if Lucas is involved, and I mean, just like Pixar, Disney and Pixar were at complete opposite ends, and now they've come back together, and
That's true.
they're producing movies again. But Disney's latest movie, Wreck-It Ralph, is a huge success.
Oh, I saw that this last weekend, opening weekend. Oh my goodness, it was incredibly good. There is a review for that, by the way, on ninethreviews.com. And it's, plug, but it is really, really good. And there's a lot of the people have been saying, well, it's a video game movie. No, it's not.
It's a movie with video game
movie
characters
based-
in it.
It's in that kind of dimension and realm, but really it is so much more than that. And it was surprisingly more than what the trailers led it to be. It's one of the first movies, especially a kids movie, where they didn't show every funny part and every plot element in the trailer.
Yeah, and I actually think it's probably the first, probably one of the best video game movies to ever come out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because every video game
to do with it. Yeah.
any video game movie that has come out in the last, let's say 15 years, because that's how long video games have been around.
Right.
Well,
But it's not based
when was
off
the
of
first one?
property.
Was that Super Mario Brothers back in the day?
Yeah,
still
the
like
one
that
that was
movie.
really, really weird. And,
Yeah.
I actually liked it because it was really weird.
It was so sci-fi and out there.
and it had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the video game.
Is that the one where they had the boots that they strapped on and all
Yeah.
that?
and it had like they were like jetpacks. More.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with Disney taking over Star Wars and LucasArts, they have a huge amount of power behind them in production on the production side.
Disney's business model in the last few years has actually, we take a step back. These people have been working for these companies for long enough to know what their properties are. They also own Pixar, like you said before,
Right.
And they own the Marvel universe.
It's true. And the Marvel universe has not really been hurt that bad. I mean,
No.
look at the latest Avengers movie. It was
Marvel
great.
actually is still going by their own business model. Disney has
Right.
had no input.
So for all we know, this could just be a revenue stream thing for them. It may not have anything to do with trying to take over the IPs and
Just like all the other movies that Mike was or all the other companies that Mike was just talking about, why change a formula that's already fully functional and working?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Pixar's
true.
got one of the best company formulas in the world.
But props to Lucas for making out of that deal with that freakishly large amount of money.
Got
Yeah.
Bangladesh,
There is no way he could spend that much money in his lifetime.
Oh, I guarantee you he will. He'll donate that. He'll donate
Yeah,
probably
probably.
50% of that.
all of
to
the
his
funds from Star
political-
Wars actually goes to charity.
He's one of those guys that he's a huge humanitarian.
That's true.
He
And
actually
he's a
shared, like,
huge-
really
I
nice
think he
Donated
quit.
to the U.S. Federal Reserve.
Yeah, I think he actually wanted to stop doing what he was doing so he could literally be a philanthropist full time.
He's the recent Tony Stark sans technology knowledge.
And I just hit myself in the face with the
He
microphone.
just headbutted the microphone. So cool. We'll see what happens with that. I'm sure there's going to be lots of news about what happens with LucasArts in the future.
Like on a final note, I just hope they remember when Disney came out with Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't mess up Star Wars like they did that.
I like Tron Legacy.
It's a good-looking movie, but there was nothing going on the entire time. I felt like we had Jeff Bridges
Yeah.
being Jeff Bridges. That's all I got out of it.
It's true.
You're not my father, you're Clue.
Man, that rug really tied the room together.
So another one of the things that I wanted to bring
Why
up
are we
today-
eating in a virtual world?
Yeah. Oh, that made no sense at all.
Yeah. Do they have pork chops in Tron?
Here's your alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
We're in a computer.
The one thing about Wreck-It Ralph that I found funny, because Tron got a lot of crap for having the
Dirt
Daft-
roads inside of a virtual
no,
world?
They had
Yeah,
they had Daft Punk do their little song and in the thing. But Skrillex actually was in Wreck-It Ralph in the party.
Of course,
and
he
it was literally a half-second cameo, but it was just enough that if you know what Skrillex looks like, you'll catch him and you'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool.
What's the guy's name with the huge mouse head or whatever it is that he wears? Dead mouse. Okay.
Yeah. I actually saw that. Somebody was wearing that for Halloween. That was pretty dang cool. My brother really wanted to find out who it was. They had a full-on mouse with the glowing eyes. It was pretty cool.
Huh.
Anyway, so moving on a little bit from that, though, we did have a couple YouTube highlights. One was just a funny piece of the... Do you guys remember the show Weakest Link?
Yes.
I thought that was kind of...
You are the weakest link.
I never saw it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they cycled through a couple of different hosts, but this one, Ann Robinson...
Yeah, she was a beast.
She was an absolute beast. But in this little segment, though, this one of the contestants absolutely dominates her, and it's hilarious.
Beast is a clean version of the female dog.
Ann. Are you more interesting than you look?
It's all in the eye of the beholder, Ann.
What do you do?
I'm a business development manager for a large bank in the Northeast.
Okay. Tell me if there's anything interesting about your job.
Absolutely not. No. It's interesting to me, but I'm sure that it would probably go right over your head.
Ouch.
Okay.
It burns, doesn't it,
Why
Britain?
Doris?
Doris, when she missed the question, she took up a larger amount of time than necessary.
Okay, you're always very quick, are you, Howard?
In some things, yes. In other things, I like to take my time, if you know what I mean.
I've absolutely no idea what you mean. What do you mean?
She thinks she has
Somehow
it.
I don't doubt that.
Ooh, it burns.
Oh, he got her.
It burns the flesh.
That was no response.
She doesn't even know what to say. Look at her stupid look.
I'm going to turn away now.
Yeah.
I won.
And she turns away to change to somebody else. He set her up for that really well, and she
Yeah.
thought that she had him. No, not in the slightest.
Well, it's the fact that he wasn't even clever. He was just smarter than her.
Oh, yeah. Just straight up, had higher IQ, just really intelligent guy. The other thing that we wanted to show, we try and highlight some of the really cool entertainers on YouTube, the producers of new and innovating stuff, and I've wanted to talk about Rhett and Link for a while, and you guys had not seen them before this, correct?
I've seen their show on, what's that channel?
YouTube?
The Rhett and Link.
Rhett and Link's
Rhett
commercial.
and Link too.
Yeah.
Well, no, they've got the Good Mythical Morning channel. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, they actually had something on basic cable.
Oh, yeah. They were doing commercials for local businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was the same channel as The Whitest Kids You Know.
These guys have been doing video production for quite a while, and they do different songs. They do parody type stuff, but they also produce a morning show called Good Mythical Morning, which I think is great. I love watching that show.
They're funny guys.
And they're way funny guys. And I think that they really need to get more credit for what they do, because I think the stuff that they produce is 10 times funnier than what SNL does. So we were looking for a little while.
How sad is that? You can go to YouTube and be more entertained than watching SNL now.
It's so true. They did this skit called The Job Reference, and it was one of the few that kind of worked out well because it's not visually based. A lot of the stuff you really have to watch because they do a lot of visual comedy as well.
Well, it's based off the editing of the jokes come out of how they edit the videos.
Yeah, no, it's true. And so this is just a really, really funny skit that I liked a lot, and here we'll take a listen.
Hey.
Hey.
Listen, I just applied to do some substitute teaching over at the middle school, and I put your name down as a personal reference, so you're probably going to be getting a call from them today.
Okay, what you want me to say?
This is just to let them know that I'm normal, that I'm not some criminal or psychopath, so just be honest.
Okay.
I'm not Jake.
Not a problem. Well, hello, Spider-Man. I didn't know you had a horse.
I just
the
noticed
school
Captain
calling?
America's wearing his new uniform.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. McLaughlin speaking.
Why are you using that voice?
I'm trying to sound professional.
Just sound like yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah, this is Rhett. Since we were kids, I mean, I've known Link pretty much my entire life. Well, he's pretty stable. I mean, when he's rested and medicated. Well, nothing too extreme. I mean, he's never physically lashed out at me. But he does sometimes get this look in his eyes that makes me wonder what he's capable of.
What are you doing?
You said to be honest. No, he's never been convicted of a felony.
Hang up, you idiot.
No, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, we just got some dynamite from his cousin Dale and blew up what we thought was an abandoned house. No, it wasn't abandoned. Well, nobody was killed. I mean, I think a kid lost a foot and a parakeet died.
Give me the phone.
No, it's not on his record. Well, his dad's really wealthy and he paid off the DA.
I can't believe this.
Okay, that's it? Really? All right. Okay, anytime. Thanks. What's wrong?
You are going to call them back right now and set the record straight. The medication I take is just a sleep aid, and that house that blew up, that happened when we were kids. And it was all your idea.
Okay. Yeah, this is Red. I was just talking to you about my friend Link. Yeah, I just wanted to call back and clarify a few things. The medication that he's on is a sleep aid, and he takes it very occasionally. And that house blowing up, that happened when we were kids, and it was all my fault. I mean, he was pretty much just an innocent bystander. Yeah, that's right. Okay, great. Great. Yeah, I really thought I'd screwed things up there for him for a second. Yeah, he really needs this job. You know, he hasn't had steady work since his uncle was paying him to scratch the VIN numbers off of stolen cars.
Steady job.
No, he wasn't stealing the cars. You weren't stealing the cars, were you?
And he knocks over all of his crap.
All the Lincoln Logs. No, these guys are way funny, and they've got years and years of content now. It's fun, clean, fun stuff. I like them a lot.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the EWSC stuff this weekend?
No, not really.
I watched the Counter-Strike tournament.
Really? Was it pretty good?
Yeah, it's crazy to watch those guys play pro. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched professional Counter-Strike, but
no, not really. It's to me that ranks somewhere around professional StarCraft.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of surprising considering how into Korea you are.
Oh, shut up.
You know, I thought you would be down with the StarCraft, especially since you're like half Korean now.
I am not. No, it some stuff. I'm more into like specific tournaments, but not something like that. I'd be more into like a giant social. What am I thinking?
Facebook tournament.
No, like a Comic-Con type tournament.
Farmville tournament.
You know, a large arena or a large group of people together. Something like what
like a LAN party
CAD does. Yeah, the giant LAN parties, like what Intel just did. You know, that's more of something I'd be interested in than these pro whatever gamers. I don't know.
Yeah, they all flew to pro.
Too many of these guys. They remind me of the Magic the Gathering or the Pokemon or the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
That's funny.
Guys.
You can watch Magic the Gathering on Twitch TV now.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
and a lot of these guys. Sorry for any of you if you're listening, but they're basement dwellers.
Oh, I love watching Magic the Gathering tournaments, dude.
I lost interest in.
They're so cool.
Them play that.
Well,
you got my trap cards. See you later, guys.
I don't know.
Let's go play a LAN party.
Tap 3 mana, set out my fireball spell. Go ahead and counter that creature while I stack these.
My shouldn't make too much fun of it because I love Magic the Gathering, but I just can't. It doesn't interest me to watch it.
My brother was addicted to Magic the Gathering. I'm sorry.
Was he?
Yeah,
it's a great game, but it just doesn't rank up there in my priorities.
I still have your deck in my car.
You do have my deck in your car.
Oh my God.
We should get that later. Anyway,
I gotta leave.
But yeah, so funny stuff on YouTube, interesting stuff with Disney and LucasArts, and don't watch Counter-Strike tournaments online.
What about that Bigfoot video? Do you want to talk about that at all?
Not really, because it doesn't really have much audio quality.
Yeah,
to
there's
it.
no audio.
No, we gotta watch the entire video.
What happened today was there was another Bigfoot video released, and it's under a lot of scrutiny, of course, like any of those crap videos should be. But it was kind of interesting because there's just this brown furry thing in the woods.
It kind of looks like a bear, though.
It does look like a bear, and that would kind of explain why when it stands up and looks at them, you run away. Like giant bear, I'm gonna run.
Yeah,
Bigfoot, probably still gonna run.
Yeah, but I guess the fact that they were saying was it was so big that they didn't believe it was a bear.
I don't know, like if you listen to the audio, and it's hard because the audio and the video are kind of poor quality just because it's unexperienced people on a handy cam. But you actually hear them in the back. Oh, is that a bear? Is that a bear? So I don't know. I really doubt that it was a legitimate Bigfoot sighting. Yeah. So one of the last things we wanted to talk about today was just kind of the new stuff that's going on in technology. And my shame on you, Google, I've been looking forward to the Nexus products for quite a while. Nexus are tablets, and tablets are a big thing right now. I mean,
iPad Mini came out. The iPad Mini came out last week. Or no,
iPad
Mini came out on Friday.
Yes,
it did, and it did have issues with supply, and which every Apple device that's come out has. They never make enough to fulfill all the pre-orders that they
sold out. Everywhere sold out.
Yeah, everywhere sold out. Go figure.
All the reviews say it's a nice tablet. Everything I've read about it says it's high quality.
You know, and it's a nice step between the iPod your iPod Touch and your iPad. So cool. You know, good on Apple. We'll see how it goes. I know Apple's come under a lot of flack recently for the iPhone 5 having more issues than I think they anticipated.
Yeah.
One of the recent things that I saw today was that they have gone ahead and opened up the iPhone 5 for Google Maps. Too many people were having difficulty with the new maps that Apple put out. And so they said, okay, we'll go ahead and open up Google Maps again, which was good because that's one of the things that Google has a strength in.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the map program that Google has.
No,
it was perfect.
There wasn't, and it was something that Apple was trying to step into and put their brand on, and it just didn't work out, and that's unfortunate. But a lot of us saw that coming. It's really no surprises here.
Sorry, Apple, you don't have little cars driving around with 47 cameras mounted to the top.
And even if you did, you just don't. They shouldn't be playing around in that realm. There's already an application that works out really well.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Or until they've had
Stick
enough time
with
to show
better.
it off. Because even when they were showing it off at the cons, at like the Apple, whatever that is.
The
Apple convention.
Apple convention. It looked like garbage. The guy didn't know. The guy sat up there for 10 minutes trying to use his own map system.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. But going back to Google though, as far as the tablets go, there's a lot of
now that we're done
tablets
talking about stuff that works okay.
Yeah, shut up. Well, no, my brother has a Nexus 7, and it works really, really well. And I was really excited because I'm not a huge fan of the 7-inch tablets, just because I think that they're not large enough to warrant coughing up the extra cash for it. I've already got a smartphone. I've got the Motorola Razr, the Max, so it's got a great battery on it.
Yeah,
and it's big.
And see, I would be happy to fork out $200 for a 7-inch tablet any day of the week.
And so originally, when Google was talking about it, they were going to release the Nexus 10, which was a 10.1-inch tablet, which is a little bit larger than the iPad, and they were going to do it for $300 and $350. So I think it was the 16 gig was going to start at $300, and then the 32 was going to be $350. Well, they were going to release it in Christmas, and I said, okay, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to get my wife a Nexus 7 because she wants something smaller, and I'm going to get a Nexus 10 because I really like the Android operating system.
Yeah.
And you really can't argue with that competitive pricing. A 16 gig, which is more than I really think I would need, for $300 compared to a 16 gig iPad that starts at $500. Cool. I'm set. Well, then months go by, and it's getting closer to the Christmas time. We're now 2 months away, and Google decides to screw me. And they partnered up with Samsung again. And now Samsung is the one that's producing the Nexus 10. The kicker is, because it's now the Samsung Galaxy Note, they're using the Samsung branding, which means that the price went up. How much are they selling it for? The exact same price as an iPad. So, effectively, while the hardware is actually very comparable to what an iPad has, unless you're a serious Android user, the motivation to go to the Nexus tablet versus an iPad, there really is no point. The big thing for me was, cool, I can get a 10-inch tablet for way cheaper than an iPad, and I'm familiar with Android. I like it. But to be honest, at this point, if I'm going to fork out that much money, I'll go for an iPad.
Yeah, and if you want an Android tablet, why spend this $500? Just buy a Nexus for $200.
Right, you can still get a Nexus 7 for $200.
Yeah, and the difference between the 7-inch screen and the 10-inch screen, there is a huge, a decent sized.
Now, technically, the screens that are coming out, and this is part of why we say the comparable. The new iPads have what are called Retina displays, and they're really, really good.
Super high res.
Technically, the Samsung Galaxy Note now, or the Nexus 10, has a screen that is higher than a Retina display. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Is it cool? Dang straight it's cool. But it doesn't warrant the additional price tag above what it had. Effectively, Google just said, we're going to allow Samsung to put their name and moniker on it and raise the price. You're not getting effectively that much better of a machine than you were with the original Nexus 10 plan.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
It really disappoints me. You had so many people, and they saw so much success with the Nexus 7. I don't know why Google would want to hand it over to somebody else.
Are you going to get a tablet, Mike?
Probably an iPad. I do have the first iPad.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see the point in upgrading.
I wanted to get a tablet for use with the podcast and stuff like that, because we want to have a soundboard and other things like that.
Yeah, see, I just want to get one for books alone. Just for
I read
Kindle.
a ton of books at night on my phone, and I would much rather.
Well, I have a Kindle. The
book.
Kindle alone is enough for me to I don't understand. I have to turn down the brightness on my iPhone just to be able to look at it. It annoys me so much. The iPad still hasn't been able to get past that problem. The iPad 3 I've heard is actually pretty good at.
It's better at that, yeah. But the Kindle is so easy to read.
The Kindle is way easier to read.
It
it's
feels
just like looking at
a
a book page, yeah.
But these things were so much cheaper than what the iPad.
And that was that was the appeal.
That was a huge selling point, and Google threw it away. And it makes me go, really, guys? Why?
Well, all that's going to do is just screw up their sales, because now they're not going to sell any of them.
It will.
Google's had a lot of missteps.
And
they have.
They have gone through some serious missteps, in my opinion. And unfortunately, it takes them from being what could have been considered a real iPad challenger to an iPad lookalike.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the exact same price. If they had left it at $300 and $350,
it probably would have sold out.
Oh my goodness!
So fast.
Oh yeah, so quick. But they, by adding on Samsung, they say, "Hey, we can get this extra revenue," and really, Google's not going to get it.
No, that's what's so stupid.
Samsung's going to take it, and the only thing that they probably got out of the deal is we know that Samsung is going to be producing and manufacturing the tablet,
which means they're going to use their crappy Samsung glass for the front.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if they're going to be using Gorilla Glass on it, but at this point, I thought that was almost an industry standard to use the Corning Gorilla Glass.
I don't know, but all I know is that Gorilla Glass isn't as good as everybody says it is, because I have seen so many shattered phones.
I haven't seen any shattered phones yet. I have seen scratches. I've got one little minor fragment scratch on mine, but I do have to admit they're pretty dang strong.
Yeah, with as many times as I've dropped my iPhone without a case on it, the Gorilla Glass has saved it quite a few times.
And again, we talked about me dropping my phone a while ago, and it just straight onto concrete. Didn't shatter. It's good stuff.
For as many iPhones that I see that are shattered, my phone has outlived a lot of problems.
But will it blend?
Supposedly, if you drop it the right way, though, the whole phone just crack.
You can still use it. It's like
one of the funniest things that I saw though was it was a Will It Blend episode, and they had an
iPhone.
It was an iPhone 5 and then a Razr in two separate blenders.
Beautiful.
It did take a little bit longer for the Android, the Motorola phone to shoot,
because the blender is like, an inferior product. I need to savor
can't compute.
But at the end of the day, they both turned to smoky black powder. It was that was all it was.
Yeah.
Suck it, nerds.
So that's unfortunate that something like that would happen, and that Google would make that sort of a choice. We'll see if they'll correct that in the future, but I highly doubt it.
They're becoming way more of like a powerhouse company than the type of company that they were more of
they're
like
stepping away from what they know.
At least to me, they felt like more of a Pixar company before, where they live and thrive off of their employees' creativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and now it just seems like they're being ran by the board of directors.
It's true, and for a company that I've loved for so long,
bean counters.
It's not often that you see a company that's main motto is "do no harm," and really, I think Google, of any company, any tech company, has really tried to maintain that we aren't here to harm and do harm to others. We just want to make good stuff. And you look at all the things that Google has their fingers in, and that's a hard thing to maintain.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what the future has for Google. I know Bing, produced by Microsoft, has tried to be a huge contender for them in the search engine, and their commercials.
Copter.
I know their commercials are ridiculous. Sorry, Microsoft. Cut it out.
Yeah, you're not better.
You're not better. You're not, and the fact that you can plug in the social stuff is great, but realistically,
I go to Facebook for that.
Yeah, we're already there on Facebook.
That's true.
We see it. Google is still 9 times out of 10 in my case, because I have looked at them side by side, been more accurate towards what I wanted.
Even if I click the "I'm feeling lucky" button, I still end up with more proper searches on Google than on Bing.
But
I cannot stand Bing.
Is Bing still a thing? I haven't even been there.
It is. And one of the things is that they're trying. It's almost insulting because the commercials are based. They always go to San Francisco. We're in Google's backyard, and talking like that makes a difference.
Google
is a worldwide. It's a huge company. Who cares?
Not to mention they're in San Francisco, so half the people are probably homeless that they're talking to and don't even have computers.
What's Google?
So yes, Bushman, can you tell me which search engine do you like better?
Yeah, I don't know.
Every time I go to San Francisco,
the commercials are just kind of obnoxious, and it's kind of funny because they say almost 2-to-1. If it's almost 2-to-1, you don't have enough of a lead to really warrant what you're saying.
It works 50% of the time, 100% of the time.
Right. So, but kind of on the topic of internet-based things with Google. What?
Is that our new word today?
No, you didn't hear him? That was from Anchorman. When you buy Sex Panther, 100% of the time, it works 60%
We're a family-rated
of the time.
show, Michael.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Sex Panther.
Will Ferrell, you've done it to me again.
Wow. Guys. Okay, you're making it so I have to edit more tonight.
What? You don't have to edit anything. We have been very proper on this show today, sir.
Okay.
We have been very proper, and I don't appreciate
During
that
the commercial
tone.
breaks, we have been pretty offensive. But that's the commercial break.
Don't flip me off.
So, again, back on topic, though.
Yes.
With the internet-based stuff, there's something that's actually should be a little bit concerning for everybody, Mac, Windows, and even Linux users. There is kind of a new exploit out for Java. Justin, do you want to give a little bit of explanation on what Java is for everybody?
Java is a platform on your computer that many websites and website programs use to basically run on your machine.
Yeah. Also, if you're a Minecraft user.
If you're a Minecraft user, created out of Java.
Yep, created out of Java.
A lot of games are created out of Java.
There's a lot of stuff that runs on Java, and so that along with Flash have always been known as being really exploitable.
Flash is dead!
Flash is dying.
Rejoice.
Thank you, Apple.
HTML5, here we come!
Yeah, moving on to things that hopefully people understand. Everybody knows the word virus, computer virus, and they should know malware. There is a difference between the two, and this new malware is called Jackspot, and it's an exploit that uses Java to get into your machine. And it actually will affect Mac users, it will affect Windows, and it will affect the casual Linux user as well, which is really, really rare.
For all three platforms to get hit at once, yeah.
Everybody usually touts, especially the Apple users, that there are no viruses and that they never get a virus on their Apple. That's no longer the case anymore. The headway that Apple has made with their computers in the last couple of years, hackers are starting to take more of an interest in producing viruses and malware that can use Apple products and exploit. Yeah, I know. Equality for everyone.
Yes.
But this Jackspot is a utility that everybody has probably heard Trojan Horse before. It gets into your machine and it will do a number of different things. Everything from it will force you to go to certain websites. It will log your what you type in the keyboard. It can take screenshots of what's on your screen. It can delete stuff randomly. It's a virus. It could steal your passwords to your bank accounts and such. Now, as far as what we know right now, it doesn't affect mobile devices, but it will affect your standard PC or laptop.
Yeah.
And it's very dangerous because it does. Mac is not really known for being very virus sensitive. Let's
clear something up right now for all of our listeners that are Mac users. Macs get viruses.
Yeah, and they actually have for a long time.
They have forever. As long as Macs have been around, they've gotten viruses.
It was just not common.
Yeah, they're just 5% of people own Macs, so computer programmers and hackers aren't going to create a virus that only targets 5% of the populace.
It's like comparing HIV infection rates between Africa and America.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Whoa.
Gotta edit that out.
No cutting. Stop editing stuff, Logan.
You're cutting my voice, man.
You're cutting the pasión. La pasión.
No, but really though, it's true though. When the majority of people are using Windows machines, of course, the majority of problems that you hear about are going to come from Windows machines. And Apple has used that in their marketing for a long time. But recently, again, as Apple's made more headway, more knowledge of the issues that the same viruses are having with Apple machines is coming to light. So, yeah, it is an issue, and it's something that a lot of Apple users need to be aware of at this point. What can we do to prevent Jackspot from getting in the computer?
Ignore it.
It's quite easy. Update your Java files, first off, which you should have a little pop-up in the bottom corner to do that anyway.
And most of the time, you're already going to have some sort of antivirus software that's installed on your computer.
If you don't, you're a moron.
Well, I don't a lot of the time, but I'm also not doing a lot of stuff on my computer that I know to be risk-worthy of getting a virus. There's different websites that you can go to.
Do you have your phone for that?
There are sites and activities on the internet, you let your imagination go wild, that make you more at risk of getting viruses. And that's just a simple reality. Now, there's other ways that you can get viruses. You can get them on files on a USB drive. You may not even have to be
get them from your friends when they send you an email attachment.
You just don't know.
Conversation was going somewhere else.
If you have a antivirus software on your computer, you're most likely going to be fine, especially from something like this.
Malware only comes from Africa. HIV and malware from Africa.
Oh, anyway, so yeah,
who are you?
That's good to know.
So back Jackspot, the Jackspot, update your Java files. Make sure your Adobe is updated, even though Flash is dying. Yeah, and make sure your antivirus is updated, because I guarantee you definitions came out tonight.
Yep,
really.
I mean, this article's been out for a couple of days. They're really on top of this. If you've got a name brand antivirus like Symantec, even though we hate them. AVG, there's lots and lots of antivirus out there. You're going to be fine for the most part. If you are concerned that you get it, though, call it IT professional.
Yeah, don't try and remove it yourself, because you'll just end up screwing everything up.
Yeah, it's true.
Pay somebody to do it. It's going to be $100, and yeah.
If you know somebody that's IT friendly, don't call them. We hate that.
No,
just call legitimate companies.
If we work for an IT company and we're working, by all means, give us a call. We're going to charge you, but give us a call. We could keep going. We don't have to end right now.
No, I don't have anything else tonight.
Oh, okay. We don't have anything else to talk about tonight, then.
Jake, what do you have to say?
Sorry, Jake.
Yep.
Should we give Jake one clap?
We should. Jake, for not being here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week. We'll have a new president. We'll have Halo 4 videos coming up. Make sure to check that out on our YouTube channel, the Unbranded Podcast. You can also find it at ninthRowReviews.com. That will be changing in the future, but we'll get more back to you next week. Have a good one, everybody.